Good day, Tandonians. We are now on our Module 3 for Empowerment Technologies, and we will be discussing imaging and design for online environments. Come on, let's start our discussion. First, we have to understand our content standard and performance standard. We also have the following learning competencies that we should achieve after this lesson. So before we jump in, we have to review the past lessons. So previously, we have studied the basic formulas in Microsoft Excel. We also had a discussion on hyperlink embedded hyperlink in PowerPoint presentations, as well as image manipulation in PowerPoint. And lastly, for MS Word, we have studied how to do mail merge for different recipients. And practically, we use these applications to give out information about Angel's Community Pantry. So that's it for our previous lesson. Let's now go to our new lesson. But before we do that, let's have a tech news. Okay, so today is the 4th of May. That's why, to all of you, may the 4th be with you. And if you would notice, this is a Star Wars poster. Okay, so here in this poster, you may notice different fonts that has been used. You would also notice an image. And you would also notice different lines and colors. Now, our lesson deals with that. We'll be dealing with how to manipulate image and design our own posters. So, ngayon, magiging graphic designer tayo. And we will study how to do those things using different applications. And the good thing about this is that you can do it on your phone. I will be teaching you that later. Okay, first off is we have a challenge question. What is a PubMat? A PubMat is a collection of visual content that is used to promote an idea, concept, event, product, or service. One application software that is proprietary, which means that you need to buy the software to use it because it is owned by an individual or a company who developed it. So when you do a PubMat, it's like doing a poster. So I'll be showing you some examples of it. So these are two examples of a publication material or a PubMat. Okay? So isang tingin nyo pa lang sa poster, alam nyo na kung para saan yung mga nakalagay na information doon. And when we use digital PubMat, it gives us a different pop-up color. If you would notice, you have different fonts as well to give you emphasis on the information that you need to know when you look at the poster. So, yan. So, dito, makikita mo na kung kailan yung date, tungkol saan yung poster, kailan, at sino-sino yung mga pwedeng involved doon sa event na yun. So, yun yung importansya ng PubMat. And ang kagandahan dyan, kung dati, kailangan natin siyang mano-mano gawin. Nowadays, we can do it digitally. So, we only use different applications for that. And this lesson will teach you how to do those things on your computer as well as on your phone. Okay? So first off, one of the important things in a publication material or a PubMat is the typography. So typography is one of the biggest foundation of design, and what you type says a lot. With the way you choose to execute your type says even more. So, syempre, ano yung ginagamit mo font style. So these font style will tell us or will give us a clue on what you are trying to convey. So, syempre, kapag bold, ibig sabihin important. If it is italicized, or if it has an underline, so it gives emphasize, or it gives it emphasizes the important words, no? So depende yan sa ginagamit mong font or sa typography. So the smaller, ibig sabihin, pwedeng mag-convey siya ng less important information. If it is bigger and if it is medyo mas mataba, ibig sabihin importante yung information na nandoon sa ginamit mong font. Okay, so these are the serifs, the sans serif and the serif. So if you would notice, yung serif na isa, ito yung merong buntot dito, or may parang end or soft yung end curve, and this one has a sharper edge. So even if it is serif, it conveys a different meaning. And usually for graphic design, they limit it into 2 types of fonts. Okay, next one. So look at the design on this one. So it uses 2 different fonts, but so this one is the first kind, and this one is the second kind. Pero magkaiba na kulay. Good design goes heaven, bad designs go everywhere. So it has a different 2 different font style, but the emphasis is given by the color as well as the font style. Next. So this one is also a different typography. So here you can see yung dalawang letters are has a capital letter at the beginning, but the underlying message has the short letters, no? Because this one, ito yung in-emphasize being creative. How does it feel? It conveys your feelings. Okay, again, this one is another good use of the typography. So yan. And then again, typography for a rundown of all things and font related. Be sure to check out this the poster. No, so if again you would look at it, there are only 2 styles. No, so ito yung isang sans, ito yung isang sans serif. So yung isa soft yung edge, yung isa sharp edge. Okay. This one is an effective design by Benjamin Horst. This had their own titles, custom design, intricately and effectively. This showy and detailed typography is a display type at work. So dito pa lang, makikita nyo pa lang yung kanyang ginamit na font, meron ng message agad. So makikita nyo kagad yung impact or yung dating ng image. Okay, so ganun ka-importante yung pinipili yung font sa paggawa ng poster. So this one is the different tips, no, for typography. So kung normal, ganyan yung itsura niya. Kapag too tight, nababasa niyo pa ba? If it is too loose, this would be the consistency of your document. So you would choose what kind of typography or the spacing would you use for your posters. Typography tips. Kern your titles. Ibig sabihin, magawin yung mahiksi pero catchy yung inyong title. Make sure that your body copy isn't too big or too small for the medium that you are printing to. So, dapat hindi siya masyadong malaki, hindi siya masyadong maliit dun sa paglalagyan ninyo o paglalapatan ninyo. Okay? And try to avoid using too many typefaces at once. Again, one of the rules in graphic design is to use two font styles lang sa isang poster. So, it's more effective, more efficient, and mas maibibigay nyo yung information na kailangan kapag hindi masyadong magulo o maraming nangyayari sa isang poster. Okay, left alignment is the easiest to read for large bodies of type. Also, if in doubt, print it out. You can often pick up on awkward typesetting, and it is much easier when it's on page. So, kapag hindi kayo komportable or mukhang nag-aalangan kayo, i-print nyo, tingnan nyo, ipakita nyo sa ibang tao, and you can make adjustments from there. Line is also important. So, when we talk about the lines, lines help to enhance, direct, and create movement. No? Line is defined as any linear marks, and it can channel certain ideas. No? I'm sure we're all aware that what lines are, but just to be sure, lines can be defined as this, as what we see. So, it can channel again certain ideas. Yung mas maliin na line, mas makapal na stroke. So, makikita natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun. That's why it's very important for us to use lines in our graphs as well. So, look at this design by Dave. Designed by Dave. So, kitang-kita natin kung paano nagamit yung lines sa pag-create ng magandang poster. Okay, next. So, yan. So, this one, also, when you look at it, nakikita mo yung symmetry ng lines. No? So, papunta yung lines. Is it straight? So, dito, parehas naman dito. And yun nasa taas. It's very proportioned. And it gives us a calming effect. Hindi siya magulo tignan. So, the poster gives us a calming effect. So, the leading lines, yun yung tawag sa photography nun. So, yan yun. So, yun yung nag-lead. Another technique using lines in photography is this. So, yan yung leading. Another important thing to remember in creating graphic design is scale. Scale creates emphasis, dramas, and aids hierarchy. Scale is a large part of design, sometimes literally. In a very basic definition, scale is a deliberate sizing of individual elements. Scale can help us make sense of designs and images. Think about if you were to draw a mouse next to an elephant. You'd probably draw the mouse much smaller than the elephant, which would help viewers instantly understand your drawing. This way, scale helps us to make sense of things. But scale doesn't always have to be based on realism. You can size your elements dramatically, large or small, to create stunning effects to signal which part of your design are more important and which are less. Example, we have this poster. So, makikita natin kung alin yung important o sino yung important character dito sa movie na to. So, can you guess who? So, definitely, yung pinakamalaking mukha, siya yung main character. And these small images can be the supportive character of the image. So, ibig sabihin, yung scale, ito yung sukat, no, nung yung mga sumusunod na images. So, it can be big or small. So, kapag nag-draw kayo ng elephant, definitely, mas malaki siya kaysa sa daga. No? So, yung scale gives you an emphasis on what can be done in an image. But sometimes, pwede naman unrealistic katulad nito. No? So, it can give emphasis on what you are trying to express. Okay? Next one is color. A strong color palette. So, we don't really need to preach about what is the importance of color to designs, but I'm going to give you what is really the importance of color. No? Color is paramount. Color creates specific moods, atmospheres, channels emotion, and each shade has certain specific connotation associated with it. In short, color can make or break your design. Let's look at the two branding examples. No? For example, this one. We have a design by Smackback for women's skin rejuvenation o pampaganda ng balat. These chosen colors complement each other gently to create a calm, elegant, and feminine design. So, usually nakikita natin ito sa mga Instagram photos. Definitely, yung ganitong klaseng chromatic color, yung medyo associated, yung earth tones, it gives you a calm design. Therefore, you are more drawn into it. So, mas nakikita mo yung mas masarap siya sa mata. No? Next one is this one. Ito ay branding for juice brand Fruity by Sagmeister and Walsh. So, kitang-kita kung paano ginamit yung color to give or to pop out the important images that is fruity. Diba? Ganda niyang tingnan. Next one. This branding has chosen a color palette that is sharply contrasts, creating a much more vibrant, energetic, and playful design. So you can do that as well. Repetition. So this one, repetition helps to tie individual elements together. It is a crucial element when it comes to branding design. It keeps your branding consistent and tie your items together. So ano ba yung repetition? So, sa repetition, makakita kayo ng mga patterns katulad netong brand na ito. So, this is the repetition. Makikita mo lang siya, makikita mo yung branding niya, but different colors. So, another image is this one. The repetition is done with patterns as well as the images that is matching each other. So, yan yung repetition sa graphic design. Next, the negative space. Ano yung negative space? Negative space is the space in between or around other elements that from its own shape. So, ito yung negative space. So, this one is an example of how negative space is being utilized. So, yung white, these are the negative spaces. To put bluntly, negative space is the space in between the area or between around other elements that form its own shape. Symmetry. When we talk about symmetry, it is an attractive and creates a sense of harmony. We find symmetrical faces, patterns, and designs generally more attractive, effective, and beautiful. Symmetry is used a lot in logos in order to create a harmonious and balanced design. Some examples of large brands with symmetrical logos Our target, McDonald's, Chanel, Starbucks, and etc. So, ano ba yan? So, yan, yung Starbucks. Kapag sinabing symmetrical, ibig sabihin, pantay siya left and right. So, pantay. Kapag hinati mo si Starbucks logo, parehas yung nakikita mo left and right. Therefore, it creates a more relaxing or mas masarap siyang tingnan sa mata. Ganon din yung ginagamit ng McDonald's, etong Chanel, and the Target. Another one is this invitation or wedding invitation. Hindi man siya nagmi-mirror sa isa, but the elements that is present on the left side and the right side are equal. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung nakikita mo sa left side, makikita mo rin sa right side. Pantay siya, balanced siya, and it is harmonious. No? Maybe this one and this one is different kasi ito yung nagsisymbolize sa groom, but hindi nagsisymbolize sa bride. But everything else is symmetrical or balance dun sa left and right. So another thing is framing. Framing helps to highlight, crop, or decorate elements. It can enhance or draw attention to specific elements of your design. So this one is a good frame. So it creates again, a balanced and harmonious image. So this one is another frame. So this time it uses different elements, but still it is frame, rectangular. The other thing is also contrast. Contrast creates emphasis via light versus dark, thick versus thin, etc. So this is the degree of difference between two elements of your design. It has a great effect on readability and legibility as well. So kapag may contrast, mas madali siyang basahin at mas madali siyang maintindihan. So this one is an example of contrast. So parehas bilog, but then again, it can be pantay and it can have different meaning to it. This design ensures that there's adequate contrast against the type and image. So this one is also a good contrast wherein we show medyo mas malabo yung image, but then the font is seen better. So pwede nyong gawin din yan. Composition, on the other hand, is your design's agreement, scale, and hierarchy. Ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng inyong image? It refers to the overall arrangement of elements in your design. So this is an example of hierarchy. So the 30 is the most important one, but it is seated at the back, and in the front is the font. So ayan siya. So, di ba meron tayo mga image at the back, font at the front. So you can do that, the layouting. So it creates a good design by using scale, depth, and highlights. Another example is this one. So ayan. So pwede siyang naka-front and back. This one is at the back. Magkakasunod-sunod na siya. This is the positioning around and behind the photograph to create depth. It also uses hierarchy heavily and frames the type in boxes and images with the type. So let's look at the design elements and principles to evaluate the following posters. So this will be your assignment. So makikita natin kung ano-ano yung mga elements ng design na makikita natin. Again, dito makikita natin yung symmetry, kung paano in-emphasize gamit yung mga scale ng images and the hierarchy as well. We would also look at the font or the typography of the poster. Of course, the colors and the symmetry. Kitang-kita yan sa poster nyo ng MacDo. Ganun din dito. So, it plays with the colors. Kitang-kita natin yung contrast, yung scaling, yung paggamit ng hierarchy when it comes to the picture as well as the text. We also use the lights, and the lines as well is very sharp. So these images are also very effective because all of the elements are being shown or being used, as well as these images. So present lahat halos noong ating mga diniscuss na elements ng design. These are the examples. Okay, so again, these are the examples. I will be showing you via demonstration on how to do this design using a computer software as well as an app on your phone. But we will do that next week. As of now, we will just be discussing the elements of design and how to do a graphic posters. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. And again, may the 4th be with you guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye for now.